Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna be a little bit shallow. And you know what? I'm giving myself permission to do that. See, here is the thing. When you are a reviewer of makeup, there are lots of factors that you take into consideration when you're deciding whether or not to recommend something to people. And primarily, the biggest thing for me is quality. Does a product do what it says that it's going to do? So when it comes to packaging and aesthetics, I usually try to caution people to not get sucked into buying something just because it's pretty to look at. Like if it's something you don't need in your collection, if the claims of the product aren't things that meet your personal preferences or your skin type, etc., like don't spend your money on things that are probably not going to work for you, you know? But because I am always trying to be like practical and reasonable and rational and give you guys the best information I can, I don't spend a lot of time talking about how pretty makeup is and just kind of fawning over the beautiful things in my collection. So today I wanted to give myself permission to do just that, because let's face it, there are some really beautiful makeup out there. So today we're just gonna gush over packaging. I'm going to share some brands and some products that I think are absolutely stunning. Are all of these products, like the actual makeup themselves, my favorites? No, that is important to keep in mind. I am not saying these things because I'm saying you guys should go on and buy these products or that I think they are the best products ever. I just want to have a fun and honest conversation with you guys about branding, about marketing, about the aesthetics of these products that we know sucker us in, and I'm just going to take a moment to say, you know what, brands, you did a good job. Now, obviously, pretty is a subjective thing, so what I personally find beautiful speaks to what I like. It may not be what you like, and that is totally cool, and I would actually love to hear, like, which brands call to you most? Like, are there specific brands, be them in makeup or in skincare, that, like, whenever you see their product sitting on a shelf, you're just like, that is so pretty, I want to have it sitting on my vanity, and I just want to look at it because it makes me happy. So with all of that being said, let the guilt-free, shame-free love fest on all that is beautiful in makeup begin. So when I think of beautiful makeup, one of the first things that comes to my mind is the Too Faced Natural Face Collection. Now, the Natural Face Collection has existed within the Too Faced line for a very long time, but I think it was sometime last year, it was either 2017 or 2018, that they revamped all of the packaging. It used to be in cardboard, but now they have these gorgeous compacts. They went with this whole kind of lace aesthetic, and I absolutely love this. I think this packaging, this design that they use for this entire collection is probably my favorite thing that Too Faced has ever done. And like as a whole, I will say Too Faced always brings their A game with packaging. Like they go over the top with pretty much everything that they do. Sometimes they get a little overly sexual, which is weird because they also have an like overly cutesy aesthetic with some of their other packaging. It's like a very dichotomous brand. I don't really know why they choose to do that, but I digress. The Natural Collection in specific, I feel like just has a very elegant luxe vibe that's neither overly sexy nor overly cute. It's just very, very beautiful, in my opinion. Like, just like look at the detailing on these compacts. First of all, they're very weighty in the hand, like they feel really luxurious. They're not completely flat either. They kind of have this puffed design on top, really beautiful typefaces on here. Again, like I said, the lace detailing, even like the cute little heart clasp on here I think is really nice. And then inside on all of the actual pans of the products, they have that lace detailing embossed, and it's the same thing on the eyeshadows as well. Now, my Natural Face palette has been well loved, as you probably can clearly see how dirty this is, but you can still see the lace printing embossed on these pans. I think it's such a beautiful little extra detail. They also carried the same detailing forward onto the lipsticks from this line. So you have like the lace pattern on the actual lipstick cap, and then on the interior bullet packaging, I also like the kind of frosted metallic detailing on the bottom of the tubes. And I also love that they coordinated the color of the packaging with the color of the lipsticks. So every bullet, the shade of the actual exterior packaging, matches the interior color. That's super handy when you own more than one. So I honestly hope that Too Faced does not like rebrand this line again. I feel like they have a tendency to like reinvent themselves constantly, and even though it hasn't been that long that these have been on the shelves, we all know that like 6 months in the makeup industry nowadays feels like a century. So I hope that these are going to stick around for a while, because I think this is just perfect. I think it fits the natural aesthetic, like they're very neutral, pretty colors, but it also isn't boring, like it makes it feel kind of luxe and special. It's just perfect. I think they did such a good job with this, and I hope they're not going to change it again anytime soon. Now, if you're a fan of the aesthetic of the Natural Face collection, I feel like you probably would also be a fan of the aesthetic of Jouer. Jouer means to play in French, and I feel like their whole vibe is very chic, classy, feminine, a little bit upscale. And I remember way back in the day when Jouer first launched, their aesthetic was very different from what it is now, but all of the products they've been releasing recently I think are so beautiful. Like, you guys have heard me rave about their Molten Glow highlight a whole bunch of times here on my channel because I'm obsessed with this. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful highlight. Like, it's so stunning on the skin. But the packaging of this compact is like A++. You have this really gorgeous, intense gold glitter on here, but this is covered with almost like a rubbery surface, so you know, you don't have to worry about glitter fallout at all. And the packaging is plastic, but it looks like metal. It has that kind of metallized foil detailing to it. You've got a nice little compact in here. There's zero wasted space. I just think it's super sleek, just super luxe, beautiful, like, I dig this. And then their blush bouquet duos have this gorgeous like rose detailing on them with gold foil. I love the blush pink. I'm a fan of anything blush pink. And then the interior pans actually have the Jouer logo embossed on them. So like, I would say Jouer definitely is a little more minimalist than like Too Faced is. Too Faced, again, definitely goes kind of over the top, but in sort of a good way. Jouer is kind of similar to those vibes, but just like a little bit more stripped down, a little bit more classic. And I love it. I love anything floral. I love anything girly. And I feel like they definitely bring those vibes without being like too much. Now, for some people, I could see on the topic of being too much that this brand's aesthetic might be that, but I personally love it. And that is Pretty Vulgar. So Pretty Vulgar's whole aesthetic is very vintage inspired. So they have a lot of vintage floral patterns on their products. Their little powder compacts for like their blush, bronzer, and highlight all look like an old kind of antique frame. I think they're so cute. And you guys have heard me recently rave about their Cool AF foundation. I really love the formula of this, but like, this foundation bottle is the most ornate thing I think I have ever seen in the makeup industry. Like, just look at this bottle. You have this adorable little bird detailing. You have a really nice glass bottle that has a frosted ombre effect. Then you have this like raised rose pattern on here. You have the same rose pattern on the cap. Like, this is the fanciest bottle of foundation I've ever seen. So like, I know that this kind of very ornate packaging may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I personally think it's super, super fun. I also think it's different. Like, I'm not seeing any other brands go exactly that route. So I think it definitely makes Pretty Vulgar stand out. Like, look at this liquid lipstick. I mean, come on, is this not beautiful? Like, I don't even like this shade. I got this product in a BoxyCharm. I did not buy it myself, but I swear I keep this just for flat lays because the like little floral print on the cap and the rose gold is just so pretty. I just love the way that it looks in pictures. Is that a good reason to keep a makeup product? Probably not from a practical standpoint, but sometimes we as humans do things that aren't practical. Another one from the brand that I think is so freaking cool is their gel pot eyeliner. It looks like a little pot, like if you were to, you know, write with a quill pen, like an ink pot. It is the cutest little thing, and this actually does feel pretty luxe. It's a glass bottle, and then you have this nice little metallic detailing on here with the little feathers. I think it's so freaking cute. So big props to Pretty Vulgar for being creative, for being unique. I don't think they get so much love as a brand because their products themselves are decent, but they're not mind-blowing and they're not cheap. So I feel like given that they have a lot of competition at their price point, they're probably not the first brand most people think of. But I feel like they definitely have garnered some attention for having a really pretty and unique aesthetic to their branding. Now, a brand that I have been really into recently that I think definitely puts attention to detail in their packaging is Nabla Cosmetics. They just started recently being carried at Ulta. I'm super excited about that. And this palette here is one of the things that you can pick up from Ulta now. It's their new secret palette. And like this packaging, I mean, come on, is this not beautiful? Like, yes, this is a cardboard palette with like a magnetic closure. So it's not like Pat McGrath levels of luxury, but I feel like there's so much detail here in this illustration. And I also appreciate that they like raised up some of these designs. They added the foil detailing. Like, I feel like it just makes it look so much more luxe for a palette that retails for less than 40 bucks. I also recently picked up one of their Shine Theory lip glosses, and this again I think is just so pretty. This is $14 and I feel like it has such a high-end feel. I love the way that this cap has like gold foil running throughout it. It's kind of got that like resin sort of vibe to it. It's really neat. And their bullet lipsticks are also super beautiful. They have this really gorgeous feather pattern on them, along with the fact that they're rose gold, which is my favorite. Here's a little bit more of a close-up for you guys in case it was hard to see before. I have to turn my lights down if I'm gonna hold things up like this, otherwise you aren't able to see them. That's why I don't do close-up shots as much. But yeah, I just think this packaging, super, super pretty. Also, like even this concealer, like look at how beautiful this pattern is on the cap. I think that's just like such a nice touch. So yeah, I just think Nabla has some really beautiful products, not just in their formulations, but like aesthetically in the way that they look. And it's funny because I don't even really know how to classify Nabla as a brand. They're definitely not drugstore, but I feel like they're a little bit less expensive than your traditional Sephora high-end brands. So I guess I feel like it gives them a little bit of an edge because their price points are a little bit lower than Too Faced and Tarte, but I feel like the way their products look and feel is on that same level of quality, and the packaging I feel like definitely just gives them, you know, that little leg up. In a similar vein, I feel like Dose of Colors is a very similar type of brand where it's like not quite high-end, it's not quite that expensive, but it's more than drugstore. And I think of everything that Dose of Colors ever did, the collaboration they did with Desi and Katie has the most beautiful packaging. So this guy here, you guys have probably seen a million times before. This is the Friendcation palette that was part of their second round collaboration. I love this palette. I think the actual eyeshadows inside are absolutely stunning, especially the glittery shades. But this packaging is just incredible. I have seen nothing else like this before or since. I remember watching Desi and Katie's like behind the scenes video when they were announcing their very first collaboration with Dose of Colors, and they talked about how they like decided on this packaging and all the thought that went into it, and they like found a hat that had a fabric like this and they really liked it, so they wanted to recreate that in the exterior packaging of their palettes. And I think that's so genius. Like this is like a fabric texture. It's rough, but the glitter on here, like it does not come off. It's kind of like built in to the actual fabric, and it's got kind of like a foily thread. It's very, very unique, and it's crazy sparkly, which makes me very happy. So yeah, this is one of those products that I feel like I would forever hold on to just because I love the packaging so much. And to that point, I actually still have my girls quad. It's a little iffy looking because it's a couple of years old and I've used those shadows wet a lot and they're not in the best state, but I still keep the compact because I think it's so beautiful. And the lipsticks that they did, I love this soft touch nude packaging. I think it's so sleek and so stunning, especially with the rose gold detailing on here. Like, oof, they really knocked it out of the park with this. And it's funny because I feel like, I don't know which came first, KKW Beauty or this collection, I really can't remember. But I feel like either way, we've seen a lot more of nude and blush packaging. Like it's definitely become a lot more popular. since then, but I remember like when I first saw this launch, especially the lipsticks in the original collection, they were some of the first nude packaging I had in my makeup collection, and I thought it was beautiful. So let's talk about a brand that is just like classic, like old school YouTube. When we think of beautiful packaging, it's like one of the first things that comes to your mind, and that is YSL. Like, who doesn't know this lipstick packaging? Like, who doesn't think of this as like one of the first things they think of when they think of like really ultra beautiful, luxurious looking packaging? This is a Rouge Volupte Shine lipstick. I remember when these came out, how big of a deal they were, and they're very expensive. It's $37, or I think it's now $39 for one of these lipsticks. It's kind of insane. But I used my holiday rewards coupon from Sephora one year to buy one of these guys because I wanted one so badly. And I will say, this is probably one of my most photographed makeup products that I've ever owned. I actually even have an illustration that I bought of like 3 of these little lipsticks. And I mean, that just goes to show right there, it was drawn by a fashion illustrator. She doesn't have a lot of makeup illustrations, but she does have an illustration of the YSL Rouge Volupte Shine lipsticks. It's just a beautiful, beautiful looking lipstick. Again, this is one of those products where the color on the exterior packaging matches the color of the lipstick. So this one is a very similar shade of bright pink. So if you own a bunch of these, you know, they all have a slightly different tone to the center of them. They can look really pretty all lined up next to each other. From a lipstick standpoint, do I think these are actually worth the money? Like, no, not at all. L'Oreal makes a lipstick pretty much identical to this for like $10. So if what you wanted was the formula, like I would say, go for L'Oreal. But if we're talking packaging, I mean, this is one of the most iconic, beautiful products out there. And just because I want to show you guys, this is something I don't think I've ever shown on camera because I don't use it, but it is beautiful. So this is an eyeshadow palette from YSL, and I don't think it's a particularly good eyeshadow palette. Like, the colors inside of here are nice. They're not my favorite tones. I'm not really big usually on grayish smoky eyes, but you know, you've got a little bit of purpley plumminess in here too, so like you can create a pretty look with this. But this is almost $70. This was a like limited edition compact that was released around the time they were releasing a certain version of their Mon Paris perfume, so it has the same little like bow on it that the perfume does. I got it in some kind of a swag bag. I didn't pay for it. I would have never bought something like this, but this is it's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Like, this is such cute packaging. I absolutely love it. I love this little bow that they put on the perfume as well. I'm not gonna lie, there have been times where I've been tempted to buy that Mon Paris perfume just because of the packaging, because it's so cute. It does smell pretty good, but I don't need it. So I have resisted. But man, I will say, YSL, their aesthetic, like, if anyone was gonna sucker you into spending too much money on beauty products, it'd probably be them. Now, something very new to my collection that I absolutely adore, and I think a lot of people have been going gaga over, is the new Pure and Barbie collaboration. I picked up one of the lipsticks. This is such cute packaging, and I 100% bought this for the packaging. I definitely did not need this lipstick, and I honestly haven't used it, and I don't know that I ever will. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but on the actual lipstick itself, there are these little tiny shimmery glitters, and the lipstick formula is actually matte, so they don't show up. So once you start to use it, you actually wear the little glitters away, and I honestly, I don't want to ruin them because they're just so pretty. You also have the little Pure Barbie logo on there. It's so cute. And this guy was not $37. I think it was what, $17, $19? I also had a coupon, so I didn't pay full price for it. So like, I almost don't mind buying this as a piece of aesthetic makeup and not a piece of makeup that I'm going to use, because it's just so special. I love the glittery packaging. I think it's so pretty. I grew up playing with Barbies. I love Barbies so much, so there's a little bit of nostalgia in this for me. But yeah, I've definitely had mixed feelings about Pure overall as a brand, both with the quality of their products and with their packaging and their aesthetic. But I feel like the Barbie collection was a really good one. They made some smart choices with that. The packaging is super, super cute, and I think a lot of people have been really into it for that reason. Now, this next brand is a little bit of an underdog. I don't really feel like I hear people talk about this brand much at all in general, and I feel like their packaging doesn't get nearly as much love as it deserves. And that brand is Ciate. I love the Ciate packaging. I think it is stinking adorable. Most of their compacts have this little star detailing on them. The bow is a classic Ciate logo. They usually had the bows on their nail polish bottles, which is what the brand was originally known for. They were a nail polish brand, and now they also have a ton of makeup, and I actually think their makeup products are pretty good. This guy right here is the Astrolights Jeweled palette. This is such a cute little warm toned palette. It's actually really perfect for fall. If you're somebody that's like overwhelmed by all these big palettes, this guy only has 9 pans and it has a lot of shades that are really pretty to play with. The formula is pretty decent. I like this guy a lot. But like, I also love the packaging. Like, I love the way that it's sort of iridescent on the front here. In addition to having the little stars, I think it's just very, again, elegant, but also fun. And the round compacts, I think, are also super sweet. These ones like have the little foil stars, and this is kind of, again, that rubbery sort of material to the exterior packaging. And I have loved on this blush a lot, so you can't really see the design that was in here originally, but it had a really cool swirl pattern with stars in the actual compact. It's kind of like a baked-ish formula, so it's actually like raised up a little bit out of the pan. It's not flat. It was really, really cool design, and this particular blush is like swirled with highlight, so it kind of has a little bit of those like hourglass vibes. I think it's super stunning. So yeah, I just think Ciate packaging, it's super girly, it's very cute and fun without being too childish, and I don't know why it doesn't get more love. I think it's really pretty. Okay, so I have one last makeup brand to talk about, and then a bonus brand. And the last makeup brand is ColourPop. I gotta give it to ColourPop. I don't know how they do it, but they somehow manage to give us amazing quality formulas, amazing packaging, and like really ridiculously reasonable prices. Like, this packaging on the Sweet Talk palette here is so beautiful. I love the floral motif on it. I love the foil detailing. It's also a little bit edgy, and I kind of feel like that is ColourPop's whole vibe. They're super, super trendy. They're kind of like the Forever 21 of the makeup world, although I would say that, like, if we were to compare quality, the quality of Forever 21 clothing is nowhere like on par with the quality of ColourPop makeup. ColourPop makeup is the real deal. But like, just look at how pretty this is. Like, not only are the tones and the actual eyeshadows beautiful, but like the iridescent-y kind of hollow background here, this really beautiful floral motif. Like, they're just putting that little extra touch, you know, like it's going the extra mile. And for a lower price point, I feel like a lot of drugstore brands don't do that. Like, one of the biggest things that I feel like sets apart drugstore makeup from high-end makeup is the packaging. If you took the labels off of everything, you could probably pretty quickly tell just by the exterior packaging alone whether or not a product is high-end or drugstore. But I gotta hand it to ColourPop. A lot of their stuff looks and feels really luxe. Speaking of luxe, like the Lux lipsticks, I have raved about these a ton, and especially for that very reason. These guys are only $7, and honestly, like, doesn't it look like this lipstick could be part of the Ciate line? Like, that this could be a $24 lipstick. It also has like the little stars on here with the rose gold. Nope, this guy is $7. They even put little stars on the actual lipstick bullet itself. I think it's so cute. Like, again, attention to detail goes a long way with me. Clearly. I also especially love all of the packaging they've done with all of Kathleen Light's collabs. Like, these are from her Zodiac collection. So freaking cute, so stunning, very, very thematic. Like the new So Jaded palette, the exterior packaging on that is so stunning. Like, whoever is the graphic designer for ColourPop, like, deserves an award or something, because they do a fantastic, fantastic job of making things look just so beautiful and also so perfectly on brand. Do I think ColourPop releases too much makeup? Probably. Do I like the fact that they're trying to adopt a fast fashion model for makeup? Not really. But I have to hand it to them. They make beautiful makeup in all of the ways. And then finally, this brand it's not a makeup brand, but it's, you know, makeup adjacent. And I feel like if we're gonna talk about aesthetics, I can't not talk about this brand. And that is Moda brushes. I know you guys are probably sick of me talking about Moda brushes because I talk about them all the time, but like seriously, if we're gonna have a conversation about beautiful presentation, packaging, like you gotta hand it to Moda. They have some of the cutest freaking makeup brushes I've ever seen. Like this set here is part of their mythical line, and all of the brushes look like little unicorn horns. They have ombre detailing on the bristles, like they're precious. Then these ones here are designed to look like ice cream cones. This is their mint chocolate chip set. Like the handles even have like a little waffle cone kind of texture to them. Oh my god, it's just, I can't. It's so freaking cute. And like each of these sets retails for $19.99. That is so reasonable. And I also have a discount code if you want to save an extra 10%. It's Blushing Birdie. I'll put it in the description box for you guys. Seriously though, like I have to hand it to Moda. Their brushes are just, they're fun. Like if you want makeup brushes in your collection that actually work, like they're a really nice quality, they wash really well, they don't shed, but like are also pretty to display like in your little brush cup on your vanity or in your bathroom, whatnot. Like they've definitely got you covered. And honestly, that's why I enjoy working with them so much and I recommend them so often to you guys, because like I think they are so great for the price. They're really nice brushes and they're really fun, they're really, really cute, and I think aesthetically they're very pleasing. Also, as two quick asides, the look that I'm wearing in today's video, you guys will be seeing in a future tutorial using Moda brushes, so stay tuned for that. And second, all of Moda's brush sets right now are 30% off on their website, so if you've been eyeing any of these, like they were already really reasonably priced to begin with, but a lot of them you can get now for like $13 and change. With my discount code, it's like $12 and change. So if you were thinking about buying them, you know, early holiday present gifting, etc., like it's a really good time to jump on it. All right, guys, so I think that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and nerding out about pretty makeup. If you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you will consider giving it a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your feedback so much. And again, let me know in the comments down below, what are the makeup products in your collection that you love the most for the packaging? Like, regardless of how good the product is, guilt-free, no shame. What do you love just because it's beautiful? It's just so stinking pretty, you can't help yourself. And of course, if you're new here and this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, I hope you will consider clicking that subscribe button before you go, so that way we can hang out again together in the future. On that note, I'm gonna let you guys go, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.